Hello, my name is Megan Cavalli. I am presenting my final project for Mass Media and Popular Arts for Humboldt State University. I will use mythology theory and representation to critically analyze the use of archetypes in advertising and mass media. Enjoy the presentation. What is an archetype? They are referred to as the building blocks of storytelling. Many times archetypes are used worldwide without anyone actually communicating them. Carl Jung was the first to coin the term archetype. He believed that archetypes have been around as long as humans and are part of the core belief system of humanity, creating a collective unconscious. There are 13 main archetypes, which are the core of mythological critical theory. Viewers can relate to archetypes because they represent characteristics without judgment, meaning they have a good and a bad side. They are fluid in their ability to deal with different life situations, as well as adaptable in their ability to change with reflection. They are also memorable, giving a reference for acknowledging behavior and discussing change. They are meaningful for viewers, oftentimes explaining the questions behind our life's purpose or mission. These elements make archetypes relevant in any media and substantial in eliciting emotion and connection. There are different categories of archetypes, including situational, character, symbol, and setting. In this presentation, I will demonstrate how Jung's 13 main archetypes are depicted in advertising and mass media. These archetypes are so powerful because they live within us all and allow us direction to maneuver through life's obstacles. The first archetype is the innocent embarking on a journey. This is depicted in many advertisements where a loss of innocence is part of life's journey, and the subject is often aided by a higher source. Advertisers have delineated this archetype for consumers who seek safety and yearn to find happiness. This consumer is often very positive and wants to seek the good in everything. The second archetype is the seeker. The seeker is found in media and advertisements directed towards individuals looking for answers to life's big questions. The seeker is looking for truth and sees themselves as outside the constructs of good and evil, merely interested in uncovering facts. This consumer would identify with the quest for freedom. The third archetype is the Junix versus the Senex. This is the conflict between the young and the old, or the fool and the sage. This is an extremely common theme in media and used to relate to youth by depicting their need to have control over their own lives. The sage seeks understanding, and advertisers appease this by finding the balance. The fourth archetype is the orphan. This individual does not trust authority, as they have been misled or abandoned in some way. The goal of the orphan is to restore safety. The same messaging as the innocent is applied for the orphan, as they also yearn to find happiness and security. Messaging security liberates the orphan consumer from unknown fears. The fifth archetype is the caregiver. This is one of the most positive and influential archetypes to use in marketing. The caregiver consumer is concerned with providing structure in the world and service to others. Advertisers use this archetypal messaging to convey a trustworthy entity that is empathetic and cares for their audience. The sixth archetype is the sage. The sage differs from the caregiver in that they provide spiritual enlightenment and intellectual care. The sage consumer seeks knowledge and enjoys studying things. This consumer believes in humanity's ability to change the world through knowledge and to find truth. A strong example of a sage brand is Google. The seventh archetype is friends. Archetypal friends are not always used at the forefront of advertising. Several sub-archetypes have been created to depict friend characters. In films, sitcoms, and literature is where you see this archetype heavily portrayed. Although in advertising, the friend archetype is used to supplement in selling an image. The eighth archetype is the lovers. The consumer that identifies with the lovers seeks connection with others and is enticed by intimacy. This consumer is an idealist that is looking for a perfect love match. Advertising is geared to elicit strong sensations from this consumer, both physically and emotionally, as they seek to bond with another. The archetype is warriors, heroes, and villains. This archetype is very commonly used in media. These characters are masters of their own universe and seek to build their legacy. They do not generally choose this path and are thrust into this position from a fight of injustice. Nike and Adidas have both built their image on this archetype. The 10th archetype is the ruler, sometimes referred to as leaders. The ruler consumer seeks control and order in the world. Ruler marketing sets the standard and tells the consumer they can be rulers as well. This advertising portrays an image of status and superiority even to its competitors. The 11th archetype is the fools and tricksters. The fool archetype is silly and free-spirited, and the trickster will pretend to have these attributes to achieve something. The consumer that identifies with this archetype is described as wanting connection with others and to have a good time. Branding associated with this archetype present the image that they can ease life's troubles. The 12th archetype is the magician. The magician consumer wants to create a legacy using power. This branding shows an entity that has ability to do things no one else can, seemingly supernatural. They are clever, innovative, and can make anything possible. Apple has branded itself as the magician with their technological advances. The 13th archetype is the creator. The creator archetype uses perception to alter reality. A creator consumer is expressive and does not conform to normal standards. Marketing that uses the creator archetype shows consumers that they can create the world around them as they want to see it. Many companies have designed their own archetypes based on Jung's 13 main archetypes. Advertisers seek to find the motivation behind consumer purchases. Archetypes provide this at the most basic emotional level. In media, archetypes are used to build a story. These two things go hand in hand many times, which furthers the archetype's stronghold in society. The analysis of archetypes in advertising and mass media shows the power that marketing has in consumerism. Consumers are many times unconscious to their own motivation for purchasing. We are simply being led by a collective unconscious that seeks fulfillment. Thank you very much for listening.